On the season, Josh Strang has been perfect. 2 races, 2 wins. For the 3-time defending champion Caleb Russell, it's been anything but. A crash in the season opener first turn, and then this last lap collision at round 2. Can Strang keep the streak alive, or can Russell ride his own race? Find out. Steele Creek GNCC is next.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome once again to NBCSN's coverage of the AMSOIL Grand National Cross Country Series and AMA National Championship presented by Maxxis. Today, not far from the beautiful Blue Ridge Parkway and Asheville, North Carolina, for this, the FMF Steele Creek GNCC. There is Steele Creek, and there is the man of Steele right now. 2 for 2, Josh Strang winning the first 2 races this year. We'll show you the last one with our AMSOIL race recap from the previous event in Georgia. Now, Caleb Russell on the 1 is going to get the start. But Russell is coming into this year not only as the defending champ, but also recovering from off-season knee surgery. Late in the race, Strang gets in the second and gets a beat on him, gets a hook at him, and it would be a close one. They would go back and forth down the stretch. Also credit to Thad Duvall, who would make it a 3-rider battle late in this one. Strang makes a mistake. Russell gets the lead. Now, under normal circumstances, that might have been enough for the champ to get the win, but then this is abnormal. He runs into his wife, who is trying to give him a bottle of water. Strang gets by. The water bottle handoff, that's normally just part of the deal, but they flubbed that one, and then Russell got tired down the stretch. Strang takes the win. Good job by Stu Baylor. First podium for him in the XC1 class. And back here at Steele Creek, well, welcome back, Charlie Mullins, former GNCC champ, recovering from wrist surgery.
You know, my wrists, they don't, as far as flexion and extension, they don't go back as far as they used to, and my side-to-side movement, I have 0. So it's definitely a lot of work trying to learn a new riding technique and style. You know, like I said, I'm just thankful to be out here. Being able to line up again, I think, is a good step in the right direction for me.
And old Hot Rod Mullins was injured midway through the 2014 season, and he was leading the points at the time. So welcome back to action for the 112. And how about this? He's going for the lead, and he's got the hole shot. Yes, Charlie Mullins, your All Balls Racing Hole Shot Award. Welcome back, Hot Rod. And out front, well, the new riding style necessitated by the bad wrist seems to work off the line. Grant Baylor into second. Ricky Russell, Daniel Milner coming through next. There's Russell about mid-pack, and I think I saw Strang right around there as well. But it's Charlie Mullins in the lead, and the fans here at Steele Creek definitely appreciate this. Long road back for him. Actually injured those wrists on a motocross track. The bike cut out, and he did not clear a double jump, and that is the worst case scenario. And a lot of people at the time thought he might never return to racing, but he says the time off, he's fired up. I've even had the chance to go riding with him myself a couple of times. The speed is definitely there. The question is, can he do it for 3 hours? That's the task in front of all these riders today, and an extremely rough racetrack. Ask me how I know that. I was actually out there this morning, and I got the blisters to show it. These guys are going to earn it. Track's going to just keep getting rougher as the day goes by. Now we're back at the starting line for XC2. These are the young riders on the 250cc bikes, and a homecoming for Trevor Bollinger, who's won the first 2 races this year and is a local. Is there pressure?
No, no pressure. I mean, I've always done good here, so, and I think that's wise because I come in here just to have fun because, you know, I have a bunch of fans here and friends, so. Yeah, no pressure, just a normal routine. I did the same thing throughout the week, and just looking forward to another good finish.
So we're ready for the start of this XC2. They start about 1.5 minutes behind the XC1 riders, but they will have a time adjustment on their side. And into the first turn is Craig DeLong going to grab the hole shot. He made that one easy on that number 11 Husky. Hot Cam's going to give him some money. And DeLong back by the Coastal Racing Squad. New team this year. And Andrew DeLong, his brother, is up front in the XC1 class. Mike Witowski is second. Bollinger I haven't even seen yet, so he's got some work to do. And the field is always huge in XC2. That's how many riders want to be the next generation of stars, and it is fun to watch this young pack going for it. But right now it is Craig DeLong trying to find his rhythm early on. He had a 3rd at our opener and was 5th last time out in Georgia, so he's a title contender as well. And here you can see these big downhills, and that's the big change. Racing in Florida and Georgia are opening rounds. Those tracks are relatively flat. You're certainly rough, but the ups and downs are going to challenge the riders today. But no challenge yet. Look at Charlie Mullins. You can tell this pent-up demand of nearly 2 years off of racing, and he is flying right now. Baylor in second, Ricky Russell, and then Strang coming through, then Daniel Milner. And here's Chris Bach on the number 4 Honda. Here's Caleb Russell, got those blue pants on. He just came through, and at the tail of this group, the number 5, the always quick and dangerous Thad Duvall. But right now, things are looking great in the return to racing for Charlie Mullins, who, by the way, only lives about a half hour from this track.
When it comes to guarding your engine, AMSOIL offers the next level performance enthusiasts demand. AMSOIL provides 75% more engine protection against horsepower loss and wear than required by a leading industry standard, extending the life of pistons and cams. Give the vehicle you love the above and beyond protection it deserves. AMSOIL, devoted to protection.
Here at Rocky Mountain ATV MC, our goal has always been to get you the best price and provide quality service. Now, we're giving you one more reason to shop with Rocky Mountain. We call it Quick Cash. It's simple to get. Just place an order with a qualifying Quick Cash item and get cash to spend on your next order. Try it out today. RockyMountainATVMC.com. Get ready.
Maxxis Tires.
The Andersons discovered life is easier with an Outlaw RV. The Outlaw is a complete home on wheels with a multifunctional garage. Getting on the road has never been quicker. The Outlaw is made to fit the lifestyle of today's active families. So stop roughing it and start enjoying your weekends. Find the Thor Motor Coach Outlaw that fits your needs at GarageRVs.com today.
The GNCC series on the NBC Sports Network is brought to you by AMSOIL. Protect your weekend. Rocky Mountain ATV MC, get ready. And by Maxxis Tires. Keeps you riding to your maximum potential.
And you just saw some clips there from our youth race every Sunday morning at 8 a.m. Congrats to Brody Johnson of South Carolina taking that victory. Now we'll give you the highlights from our ATV racing from Saturday. Walker Fowler, defending series champ, gets the whole shot. Battling it out with the distinctive blue headlights, Jay Shadron able to take the lead from him. Shadron, one of the young up-and-comers. But Fowler would retake the lead, and Shadron would eventually have some mechanical problems and would be unable to finish the race after running a strong second. This is exactly what Walker Fowler wants to do. Starting the year off with 3 wins in the first 3 races. And back to the bikes now. The FMF Steel Creek GNCC here from Morganton, North Carolina. Jason Wygant, your host. And there's Charlie Mullins leading the way on the FMF KTM. And what a story. Again, nearly 2 years off with huge wrist problems. One wrist is partially fused. As he said at the top of the show, he cannot even move his hands left to right. Can only move them up and down just a bit. Caleb Russell has climbed all the way up to second. Last time we saw him, he was about 7th. He's got Josh Strang right behind him, your series points leader, and Chris Bach in tow and 4th. So 4 big hitters are up front early. Right now, things are going Charlie Mullins' way. There's Russell trying to... That section is misleadingly difficult. The spot on the opposite side of the bridge in this, there's some deep ruts in there. These guys are getting bounced around quite a bit. Back to XC2, the 250 class. Lane Michael, also on a Coastal Racing Husqvarna, has now taken the lead, the kid from West Virginia. And Trevor Bollinger, there he is, your points leader and your home track specialist, up to 2nd. And Craig DeLong, who had the whole shot, is 3rd. Also want to watch for the beta riders of Jesse Grom and Tegan Temple, who are riding very well. The distinctive look of those machines. Beta known more for their trials bikes. Wait a minute, Caleb Russell now in the lead in XC1. Charlie Mullins back to second. And as we said, the question was, could the wrists hang on for 3 hours for Mullins? Hope he's not in some pain here. Bach is third now, ahead of Strang. Strang just came through on that white Husqvarna. He's got Thad Duvall and Ryan Sipes right with him. It's actually Sipes and then Duvall. And then Jordan Ashburn, who switched over to KTMs this year with the help of Westfield Power Sports. Now to the open stuff in the field. So Caleb Russell leading, hoping to hang on a little bit tougher this time. The last race he got so dehydrated he could barely stand at the end of it.
It's been a tough first 2 rounds for me. Not how I wanted to, start things off, obviously. But I mean, Josh is riding well. That's to be expected. So, last race I felt like, I should have, I had the win in hand sort of until that last lap, and I just hit a wall physically, and I didn't have anything left. So, I'm not one to make excuses. I got beat, and just got to try harder.
And 2 more weeks of time recovering from the offseason ACL surgery, probably going to help him as well. See Bach coming through here in third, trying to keep those 2 KTMs in check on the Johnny Camel Racing Honda. And Strang in fourth. This is not what Strang needs right now. These guys have stretched out on him quite a bit. Now, he was able to catch Russell late in the second round of Georgia. We'll see if Russell hits that physical wall again today, but if these 2 keep trucking like this, it's not going to be easy to catch them. Mullins still solid there in second. Here comes Bach, and you can see how rough this course is. This is supposed to be one of the smoother sections. You can see how choppy it is now out of that corner, and it's only going to get worse as the day goes on. So that's what Strang's going to try to bank on here, wearing these guys down. There he is. Then it's Duvall and then Sipes. So a 3-rider freight train trying to bridge that gap to the top 3. There's Russell still leading it. And Mullins, hey, every time you see him still maintaining the pace, still looking strong, you have to be encouraged with a hot rod bouncing back from terrible wrist injuries. And I think Bach's actually closed it a bit on the lead duo. Now, Chris Bach was battling for the win with Strang in our opener in Florida and had a big crash. And he thinks he had a concussion, really slowed him at our next race in Georgia. And he told me today he thinks he'll ride pretty well, but he doesn't know if he's 100% recovered from that or not. The only way to know is to go racing. So far, so good for Bach. So a bit of a question mark as we go under the Steele Creek Bridge for all 3 of these leaders. Russell coming back from the knee injury, Mullins the wrist injury, the concussion for Bach. How will that play for the very healthy, very capable Josh Strang back here in fourth? And remember, he has Sipes and Duvall in tow. The fans lined up under the bridge. Man, this is a big gap, though, for Strang to have to make up. And conveniently timed, those fans driving across the bridge as they watch these guys make their way underneath. Look at this. Mullins is challenging his teammate for the lead. Ah, so good to see Charlie Mullins back like he was never gone. These 2 used to battle every week like this. Stay with us.
At Rocky Mountain ATVMC, we want to help increase rider participation at your next race, rally, or club event with our free Race Gas program. Join Race Gas, and every rider that signs up for your event or club gets a free $10 gift card to Rocky Mountain ATVMC. It's that simple. RockyMountainATVMC.com. Get ready.
When it comes to protecting your engine, AMSOIL offers the next level performance truck owners demand. AMSOIL provides 75% more engine protection against horsepower loss and wear than required by a leading industry standard, extending the life of pistons and cams. Give the vehicle you love the above and beyond fortification it deserves. AMSOIL, devoted to protection.
CST Tires.
Grand National Cross Country action. Center your screen, Josh Strang dealing not only with the natural terrain here in North Carolina, but the rolling terrain and the rolling chicanes. He's trying to get around a lap rider here. Almost gets put into a tree. Has to get on the brakes. He's trying to catch the lead pack, and this took probably about 10 or 15 seconds longer than he wanted to. Now watch Thad Duvall try to get around the lap rider. He goes all the way off, blazes a new trail, but note the front number plate is off of Thad Duvall's bike. When you take chances like that, sometimes bad things happen. There, it worked out for Duvall. These tracks, by the way, there are arrows in the trees, and you can go 25 feet to the left or right of those arrows. So you can get creative. You're taking your chances when you do it. Hey, how about Chris Bach? He has now caught Caleb Russell. We got a fight for the lead on our hands. He is charging. That's a lap rider coming through here. This is Josh Strang, about as close as we have seen Strang to the lead all day. Charlie Mullins still hanging in there. You hope the wrists are okay. And then Ryan Sipes through next. A couple more lap riders, and we expect to see Duvall come through. Looks like they have the front number plate situation fixed. So Russell leading on one of these big downhills, but as we had seen, Bach had closed in. And look at Bach, he's on the inside. He's got a pass made, so Chris Bach takes it. Now Russell trying to get around him on the outside. And that was just a wide line for Russell, and that's what he said. The track is really 50 feet wide, 25 feet on either side of the arrows. There are the arrows right in front of Russell. He splits them, so nothing illegal for what Bach did. He just found a better line and took advantage. And see those fans there on the right? They often do give advice on where to go, and that pays off for Bach. So he's got the #1 spot right now. A little bit of shades of our race in New York last year when Russell won the first 5 rounds of 2015, and then Bach was the one that ended the win streak. See if he can dial that type of performance in today.
I think when I beat Caleb last year, I think we just happened to nail every aspect of preparation 100%, from the bike to myself to the team operating at 100% efficiency. It was absolutely perfection. So each weekend we kind of go after that same feeling. We try to mimic that, but sometimes it's a little bit harder. You know, you got 15 guys that are every bit capable of winning, and you never know what's going to happen. But we try to go for it each week.
As we explained, Bach was going for it for the lead at our opener in the sand of Florida, ended up crashing, getting concussion, so a nice bounce back for him. We're going back to the XC2 class. Lane Michael in the lead. Lane was battling for the lead in XC2 in Florida. Drowned his bike out, just went basically into gas tank deep mud in a swamp down there, so he's got to try to win and make up some points on this guy, Trevor Bollinger, and they are flying. The rider coming through now is Daniel Milner, who started ahead of them, a row ahead in the XC1 class. Speaking of XC1, let's go back to this battle with Bach and Russell. Yeah, this time Russell down to the inside following Bach. And he pops up to the right. He used that line the last time to try to fend him off. And it looks like it paid off. Russell able to take the lead. And there's a couple of lap riders, 2 of them splitting him and Bach. So an opportune time for Russell trying to put the hammer down and get away. Bach just got by one of those lappers. And we'll try to see how far back it is to your points leader, Josh Strang. This is not him. That's a lap rider. This is not him either. Oh, man, this is a big gap for the 114 to make up. And Strang is so strong down the stretch of these races, but you give Caleb Russell this kind of a lead, he's going to be hard to catch. But Strang did make up ground and got him for the win at our last race. He's trying to put that same game plan together down the stretch today.
As riders and racers, we understand the need to get quality parts, apparel, and accessories fast. We have the horsepower of multiple warehouses to make sure your gear, OEM parts, or accessories make it to your door quickly. Check out our easy-to-use website and experience customer service that takes the whole shot. RockyMountainATVMC.com. Get ready.
You smell it, you feel it, you can taste it in the air. Speed, man. Full wide open. Blast. I didn't really like high school too much. Too booky, too take notes, learn this, and that's it. At Wildtech, they had full-size motorcycles. The feeling of taking them apart every day, putting them back together. I can't explain it. Everything I learned applies to now. Seeing your motorcycle that you put together right around the track at 180 miles an hour, oh, definitely rewarding. My name is Mike. My school's Wildtech.
Get on the fast track to a career. Turn pro at Wildtech.
When it comes to guarding your engine, AMSOIL offers the next level performance enthusiasts demand. AMSOIL provides 75% more engine protection against horsepower loss and wear than required by a leading industry standard, extending the life of pistons and cams. Give the vehicle you love the above and beyond protection it deserves. AMSOIL, devoted to protection.
Maxxis Tires.
The GNCC series on the NBC Sports Network is brought to you by AMSOIL. Protect your weekend. Rocky Mountain ATVMC, get ready. And by Maxxis Tires. Keeps you riding to your maximum potential.
Just saw some clips of our women's cross-country class. Big congrats out to Becca Sheets taking her first career victory in that race earlier today. Caleb Russell now into the pits, leading this one in the XC1 division. Oh, he just stalled the bike. Stalled the bike coming out of the pits. Now it stalls it again. Is there a mechanical problem? This guy had the lead. That's his wife running over. Remember, they had an incident at our last race where he actually bumped into her on accident. She's trying to give him a bottle of water. Looks like he's got the thing going again. So now the radar is out. Josh Strang has taken second place away from Chris Bach. He was close enough to take advantage of the Russell mistake in our last race. Not close enough this time. And the way he threw those goggles down, you can tell he's frustrated. Does not want to give Russell the win today. He's got the water bottle. You're going to see an all-out charge from Strang. He's trying to get a grip on the bike. Must have messed up perhaps his clutch lever there. So trouble for both of them. And are these not just questions of survival of the fittest, these 3-hour races? So much can go on, just little things that can mess up your game. Here's Russell sticking to the inside. Oh, and almost stalls it again. That's a spot where he lost the lead, got passed earlier. Apparently that section off camber a lot trickier than it looks. So here's the question. Does Caleb Russell have the full 3 hours of endurance now? Didn't have it at our last race. Josh Strang was able to wear him down. Caleb Russell is coming back from ACL surgery in the offseason, has not had the full preseason training and riding time that he would have liked. Strang is coming in totally ready, and he is closing the gap, but I don't know if there's going to be enough time. Shout out to Trevor Bollinger, who has retaken the lead in the XC2 class. Lane Michael just came through riding like a madman, trying to get the lead back. He was the leader for the majority of this one. Meanwhile, Russell across the Steele Creek, trying to bring this home. And this would be huge if your defending champ can get his first win of the year. And that's why there was so much pressure on the rest of these guys, try to hold them down as long as they could. Oh man, riding across that bridge, that is like ice. Cannot charge through there. Then it opens up to pretty good dirt in this section, but I don't think Russell has to go super all out at this point because he's got the lead and he's got the checkered flag in sight. So forget the struggles of the first 2 races. Caleb Russell is back, and I think we're looking at a season-long championship duel between he and Josh Strang in the XC1 division. Caleb Russell takes the FMF Steele Creek GNCC. I think he's still a little bit tired here after 3 hours on this rough racetrack. Here is Strang, just couldn't get it going early enough. Was definitely quick in the second half of the race, but the first half, not what he wanted. And although he did make up some ground, it wasn't enough to put any pressure on. And we're going to show you the AMSOIL results here. Bach, a solid podium. Sipes getting better each week with 4th. Bollinger and Michael, they end up 5th and 6th overall. Good job, boys. Let's talk to the winner.
you know, had a rough go at the opener, and then, you know, I went deep into my reserves there, and I didn't have the goods at Georgia, but, you know, Josh is riding good, and, you know, it's no secret we're 1-2 all the time, so, you know, it's hard work. So, you know, congrats to him on getting second again. You know, I'm looking forward to the year. It's going to be tough. It's going to, you know, I was glad to see Charlie back up front there at the beginning. That was pretty cool, and hopefully he can get everything together and stay healthy, and all three of us will be battling.
And we'll show you today's battle with the AMSOIL race recap. It was Charlie Mullins in his first race in nearly 2 years. Still knows how to get starts. The hot rod grabs the All Balls Whole Shot Award, and then he put a whooping on the field early, opening up about a 30-second lead. Caleb Russell would get it together, get around his teammate. Mullins hung on as long as he could. He would eventually, though, drop out of the race, hitting a huge pile of muddy ruts, and as he said, the bike stopped and he didn't. He retweaked those wrists. Hope to see him back at the next one. Then you had Chris Bach, Josh Strang, Ryan Sipes, Thad Duvall. They were all giving chase. And when Mullins went out, Chris Bach picked up second, and then he went after Russell for the lead. And on this big downhill, that's where he made it happen. Russell's going to go wide. That looked like the good line. Look at Bach sneaking through to take over the #1 spot. And these two would go at it. Good racing between them. Once Russell finally made the pass stick, he was able to get away from there. There's Trevor Bollinger outlasting Lane Michael in a fantastic XC2 battle on the 250s. Caleb Russell on his KTM 350 in control in XC1. Josh Strang would eventually get around Bach for second, but he was too far back to challenge Russell, who is now on the board with his first win in 2016. But Strang is still the points leader.
I felt like I rode not very good today. I struggled early, and then there was just that gap once I got into third there, and I just couldn't get it back down. So the last lap, the lappers were terrible. I don't know, maybe they missed the morning race, but it was, I think everyone had the same problem, so it wasn't just me, but man, they were bad today. It was just hard to make up time. I struggled all day, so come away with a second, we'll take it. So hey, I'm here after the finish, so that's good. The Rockstar Energy Husqvarna worked good today, so I just wasn't on my A game today. So next race.
And the next race will be in South Carolina. That should be a good one. Glad to see Ryan Sipes improving as well, and Charlie Mullins back in action. Great racing today in the AMSOIL Grand National Cross Country Series. For everyone at Racer TV, I'm Jason Wygant. Thanks for joining us, and congrats to today's winner, Caleb Russell.